Good morning, Aquarius. How's everybody doing? I said I was on a roll. I was getting these videos out, and then I got really busy with my business, with my scent business, because everybody got them stimmies. So I said last month I didn't even make videos because I had some things I was working on personally, and I didn't have the energy to do the videos too, so I apologize. I said, well, I've been going hard for a couple years and I haven't, taken any time off, so I think I can take a month off every now and then, I guess. I'm good for a while. What is going on with you, Aquarius? Boy. All right. I did order some new cards from my channel. I can't wait till they get here. They should be here tomorrow. And I had somebody from one of my groups make me a handmade set of runes, which I'm very excited that I'm going to be using in my videos as well. All right, so we got a few extra cards. I need cards for Aquarius. Wow. I need cards for Aquarius, and this one is sticking out. We're going to take that one. I'm going to take one of these. Okay. I couldn't hardly hold on to that one. That one did not want to stay put. All right. Romance Angel deck. Boy, that's too many. Cards are just wanting to fly out everywhere. Card for Romance Angels, and I'm going to take this one. Wow. For my Art Oracle cards. Art Oracle, and I'm going to take this one. Card for Aquarius, my Aquarius friends, and I'm going to take these too. All right. So the first card that I have is Child Consciousness Wind. And I was just thinking about this yesterday. It's so funny because I have grown so much, even just recently, as far as I feel like I'm becoming a grown-up finally, and I'll be 52 this year. And then I said, well, is that necessarily a good thing? Because I know I'm pretty youthful. I'm pretty youthful for my age. I mostly hang out with younger people. It's not very often I hang out with somebody my own age. I look at so-called grown people doing, grown things, and they're not any happier or healthier than anybody else. So, maybe this child consciousness of, being youthful and, being young and not being so conforming and, stuck on societal norms, being the rule breakers and marching to the beat of your own drum, or maybe that's not such a bad thing. We have Deceit. No, basically, I feel like this card kind of goes along with what I was talking about maybe not being your authentic self. Maybe you're deceiving yourself, because I'm not really picking up on this being another energy. This is your energy. This is, wanting to be something for other people instead of really, truly being yourself. You're really asked to really sit down and ask yourself, are things that I'm doing, or the way that I'm living, or, someone I'm with, or, people I hang out with, or, clothes I wear, it can be anything. are not me. They're not the authentic me. I feel like I am, perpetrating to be someone else. And so you're really being asked to really sit down and look at that. And this is going to involve self-acceptance and self-love of yourself just how you are without wanting to change yourself into something you're not. And that energy was very specific. That message was. All right, we have Sorceress, Morgan Le Fay. And clarified by false person. So we have deceit and we have false person. And I promise you, this does not feel like this is someone else's energy. This feels like this is your own. And the reason, and I hope I'm not triggering anybody, because I just went through this whole thing of my own where I was like, what the hell am I doing? That doesn't even resonate. I've been spending in the energy of this card, so pay attention. The Sorceress. I spent all this time working on manifesting things that I was like, this is not even, what am I doing? That is not even what I want. And, that can be alarming, when you go through that, when you're like, wow, that maybe this is something I wanted for a long time. And now I'm like, what? I don't even want that. That is not even me. That was someone else. I was just going along for the ride. And I thought that was me because I took on their energy and their thoughts and their beliefs and their desires, but that is not me. So really opening up and really getting to know yourself, with this false person card. This is you. This is your energy. All right, we have forgiveness, and this is the Six of Fire. And oftentimes people will reflect back to us, they'll let us know, teach us what we don't want in a relationship, show us what isn't love. All of these things, we live in a world of opposites, of duality. We have to experience the opposite in order to understand what it is. Because imagine if there was something and that something was the only thing you ever knew. How would you know that's what you're experiencing unless you experience something else? That is how we relate in our world. We relate through opposites. So this forgiveness card, is there really anything to forgive, or was it really for your highest good what this person did that hurt you or upset you or made you mad? All right, we have connect with nature. You're rejuvenated and inspired by spending time outdoors. So this card doesn't need much explanation. You're being asked to get outside, spend some time out in nature, spend some time really connecting with the true you, who you really are. Oftentimes we set goals for others. This person hurt me, or that person hurt me when I was a child or whatever, or I was rejected by this person, and I'm just going to show them. I've got these goals and I'm just going to be successful and I'm just going to show them. But is that really what you want? Is that what's going to make you happy? You need to ask yourself. All right, so we have Oracle. And I'm going to get a clarifier for this card. Oh, boy. Think we can take that one. It came right out. Oracle, family room. So basically the energy that I'm getting with this Oracle in this family room is, okay, this is like routine. This is something that you do like every day. Maybe in the evenings you lay around, with your significant other person or your family, your kids, whatever, and you watch TV. Or maybe you play cards, or maybe you eat a nice dinner together. And this is, your routine. This is something that you always do. This really centers you. And so, maybe lately this has been off a little bit, maybe someone's had to work over late, or, maybe you're having some relationship issues or whatever, and this has not been your center lately. And basically the message that's coming through is stop creating scenarios and problems. Stop assuming something is wrong just because things are not the status quo lately. People need space. People get busy. People have, goals and things too. And change is something that we have to get more comfortable with. And that is why it's so important to stay detached. Maybe you're not meant to stay in this relationship for 10 years. Maybe you're not meant to stay on this job for 10 years. Maybe something better, something else, else is coming in. And so try not to judge things, and try not to be so stuck on the status quo of keeping things the same. because to clarify that, we have new love. We have a new person has stirred your romantic feelings. So yes, you are about to carry on with a brand new relationship. And this person is not going to be like your usual person that you are usually with. I mean, this person can be, different ethnicity, speak a different language. Maybe there's an age difference, maybe even they're same sex. I mean, same gender. I hate to be triggering. I'm trying not to trigger people, but sometimes I do. I think that takes away from my popularity, but I got to speak the messages. So, and it's whatever. And we all have both energies in us, masculine and feminine. Some people are more in one than the other. It's not for us to judge. It's the soul within, not the packaging that it comes in, that we are attracted to. This is going to be a very strong connection, very powerful one. This is someone who you have known before, you've had, possibly many past lives with, and it's going to be a very strong connection like nothing you've ever known before. All right, we have Athena, Chariot. So I feel like these changes that are coming in very quickly. With this new energy, with this new love, we have we have the old kind of going out. We also somehow missed this card here. We have the Seven of Seas, denial. So somehow this card, I was supposed to read this one first, but this was the exact energy I was picking up on. That's such a synchronicity, this denial of things are changing, things, all out with the old, in with the new, feeling kind of out of control, like things are changing and you can't do anything to stop them. But you got to understand, when something is for you, it's coming, and it's coming in, this Chariot energy that I have right here. It's coming quickly. And then when something's not for you anymore, when it no longer resonates, guess what? I mean, you can't even hold on to it anymore. It's just gone. And it doesn't have anything to do with you or this old person that you were with or this old situation. It's just, it just happened. You just grew. Both of you grew in different directions. So it's not to be judged. All right. So we have the Core Buster. This is my Art Oracle card. Theory makes perfect. Practice makes problems. Sign your name in contract and concrete, not contract. Sign your name in concrete, go big or go home. Theory makes perfect, practice makes problems. When we learn things, you'll hear a theory, like let's say the law of attraction, for example, that's theory, right? Until you actually put it into practice. There's several spiritual laws. There's like the law of karma, there's the law of, I can't even think of, I every time I go to think of them, I can't ever think of them, but there's like a whole different laws. But until you actually practice them, they're just a theory. And really that's how we learn. You can talk about things all day. You can say, oh, I believe in ghosts or whatever, and, because you've seen them on TV, but till you actually see one, in your house or whatever, you can't say that is actually, you've actually put that concept into practice. But it says here, practice makes problems. So, let's say you hear of a concept and, you come up with this whole reality or, a theme behind, this concept that you've learned, and you have created that whole possibility, because that possibility was not there before. I gave the example. This was an example I gave in one of my past videos. Imagine, you grow up in a household where there's plenty of money. Maybe you guys have like lots of money, growing up. So being without has never been an issue before. You've never lacked. You've never, not been abundant. And all of a sudden one day, you wake up and you're like, man, what would happen if I didn't have this? Well, why would you even say that when you always have had it? So now that you've assumed that, maybe one day I won't have it, I should start preparing for the fact that maybe this goes away. Maybe the economy's, Wall Street, whatever, or Bitcoin or whatever. And now you're like, oh my goodness, I need to start preparing for a rainy day. Well, what we prepare for is what will manifest. So you done created a whole theme, a whole simulation, a whole demo. Now, this is something that could show up in your physical world. Sorry, it was kind of hard to explain that. Sign your name in concrete. What I think of this is, when you sign your name in concrete, a lot of times you are making memories, because then like somebody else comes up and they buy that house after you and they're like, oh, well, Sam lived here, or, Mary lived here, that is kind of like your legacy. Um, Having, your name somewhere where people can remember you. And so there's a certain amount of facing one's mortality with this, of feeling like, what's going to happen if, I no longer exist tomorrow. And I want to make sure I leave a legacy behind. I want to make sure, I'll leave a child behind I can, carry my name on. Or, I have my mom's china that was passed down from generation to generation. Just things like this, mementos of really feeling like you want to make your impact on your world. And you can make your impact on your world by living your best life now instead of worrying about the future. Go big or go home. I'm going to pull one of these cards here to get clarification on that, but go big or go home. Exactly what that means. And I'm going to take this one, toil and labor. So this has to do with your job. So once again, this is all about being recognized, maybe being recognized at work, having people look up to you. And once again, this goes back to that, what are your goals for? Are your goals for you to make yourself personally happy? Or are you kind of trying to get like maybe this fame, this success where people recognize you, this outward validation type thing? Because you got to be really careful with this. Because if somebody can validate you, then they can turn around the next week and unvalidate you. So what if this week you did an incredible job and, you got like, all these stars for like exceeding performance and recognition. And everyone's like, oh, this person just did the best job this week. It's just amazing. What if you have some personal problems at home? You got some things going on. Or what if you're tired? What if you're sick? You got to go to work anyway. And the next week you don't do such a great job. And they're like, criticizing you, judging you, like, well, why are you not working to the best of your ability? We know you can do it because you did it before. You got to really be careful of that. You really do, because they can take it away from you too. That's why your validation needs to come from someplace other than outside, outward validation. And not just that, but we live in a day and age where people are expendable. You can go work 20, 25 years for a company and break your back and, all your muscles are, you got all these health problems now where you don't work yourself to death, and they look at you one day and be like, we need you to retire, or we got to let you go because you can't do your job like you used to. So you know what? You need to be loyal to yourself. All right, we have 7 of Earth, failure. So there is a lot of fear of failure here, fear of you won't be able to measure up, maybe, your parents or your spouse or your siblings, people have high expectations of you. And the reason why is because you've always been like, I'm just going to do the most amazing job. And then everyone expects that of you. You've set the bar really high. And it's like you're scared to try anything new because you don't want to fail. Because, they're just kind of holding on to this for dear life, this need for recognition of doing a good job. And like I said, you need to find something else that gives you joy. Something else, we got this connect with nature card. This deceit and this false person where you really need to get in touch with who you really are. You got this child consciousness really playing, being childlike again, maybe being irresponsible for a minute, being Peter Pan syndrome. That is perfectly all right. We have tribe of the kindred. I carry your heart. I carry it in mine. Finding your tribe. finding your soul family, people who, and I feel like this person here is this very special romantic soulmate, but you have other people that you can connect to that you know on a soul level. They know you on a soul level. There's a lot of love there. You guys, incarnated, together to have these experiences. They're part of your story. And if you have not met these people, you're going to. They're coming, and you will recognize them right away. But you cannot do that as long as you are stuck manifesting and magnetizing in situations that are not true to who you really are. You will never meet your soul family and experience what your soul purpose is. And be brave and true, spirit warrior. Wow. So this, be true, be brave and be true, releasing the fear of failure, being true to thine own self, be true. Really getting in touch with who you are. And I feel like even, right now you are going through these changes. Maybe you're even spending some time alone because you need to be, because you've been isolated for a reason. Work with that energy. Well, Aquarius, so we had a lot of very specific messages come through, but this is a general reading. If you would like to have a personal reading, do reach out to me. They are $50. I can give you details of, what's going on with your personal situation. I'll include my email address in the description of the video. Thank you for watching.